Metaphorical cats,
Statistical cats,
and mystical cats,
political cats, hypocritical cats.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the most abysmal early scenes in film that had us all questioning whether or not to stick around. Major spoilers to come.
Does your thing really stand for hope?
Yes, it does.
But it looks like an S.
Number 10. A Tale of Two Brothers. Super Mario Brothers.
A long time ago, the Earth was ruled by dinosaurs. They were big, so not a lot of people went around hassling them.
This infamous adaptation of one of the most iconic video game series had a lot of issues. From its poor writing to its infidelity to its video game source material. It's no wonder this 90s adaptation was a box office flop. By far, the worst part of the film, however, is its exposition-rife beginning.
What if the impact of that meteorite created a parallel dimension?
Don Castellaneta, in a bad Brooklyn accent, explains how the world split into two dimensions after the meteor killed the dinosaurs. In fact, some of the surviving dinosaurs go off to establish, we kid you not, Dino Hatton. And then we get to see a fully human baby Daisy hatching from an egg. Yeah, we're gonna pass. Number 9. Facing Ghostface. Scream 4.
I dare you to open the door. No, Sherry, don't. No, don't. I'm scared.
We hate to admit it, but there is such a thing as being too meta. In this opening scene, Ghostface calls, Facebook stalks, and kills two characters, Jenny Randall and Marnie Cooper. A very typical, if indifferently executed horror movie trope, except, as it turns out, these are characters of Stab 6 in an in-universe sequel.
It's not aliens or zombies or little Asian ghost girls. There's something real about a guy with a knife who just...
The characters watching Stab 6 then get killed by characters of Stab 7, which are viewed by the characters of, finally, Scream 4. This meta-film within a film within a film serves to satirize Hollywood's penchant for endless sequels and remakes.
But it's illogical. It begs the question that if the beginning of Stab 7 is Stab 6, then is the beginning of Stab 6 Stab 5? And if so, what is Stab 4 about?
Scream 4 is viewed as better than its sequels, but this routine starter is less clever than lazy. Number 8. Superman's awkward interview. Justice League.
Can we ask you some questions? It's for our podcast.
Well, in that case.
How many people that you saved have you saved?
The greatly anticipated Justice League unfortunately suffered from a clash of directorial visions. This is apparent in the film's awkward opening scene, which begins with a kid interviewing Superman and the superhero's cornball explanation on the meaning of the S symbol.
But it looks like an S.
Yes, it's meant to. It's meant to wind like a river. It comes and goes.
Although it's nice to see Superman taking time to make a kid happy, the scene seems to serve no purpose other than to call back to the classic Superman we all know. It also contradicts and walks back on Zack Snyder's grittier take on Superman in earlier films, which had inspired controversy. We'll all have to pass.
What's the best thing about planet Earth?
Number 7. Outworlds' hilariously bad invasion. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's the cheesy special effects that did it for us, and the poor editing, and the stilted acting and writing. You get the idea. No one will accuse this film of being a masterpiece for the ages, but its opening scene is definitely a bewildering eyesore. In this scene, villainous Outworlders have come with the Emperor announcing his intentions to invade and conquer the Earth in 7 days. The Earthrealm's warriors fight against them, but with one major casualty, Johnny Cage, who did warn us this would not be good. Another video game adaptation misfire. We're only glad to see that it's a comedic one, if unintentionally.
Mother, you're alive. Too bad you will die.
Number 6. A real catastrophe. Cats. Les Miserables may have survived the gritty and overly literal approach to adapting a stage musical, but this musical about talking and singing British cats should not even have been tried. In this scene, we are introduced to the world of Jellicle cats, where young cat Victoria is dumped in an alley by humans. Talk about letting the cat out of the bag.
Are you tense when you sense there's a storm in the air?
Victoria is adopted by the rest of the Jellicle cats, who are preparing for the Jellicle Ball. Director Tom Hooper took the Uncanny Valley route with CGI-induced skin-tight fur bodies, tails, and humanoid hands. It's strange and off-putting, and unfortunately, it only gets worse from here. Number 5. Laurie Defenestrated, Halloween Resurrection. The beginning of this Halloween sequel is indeed a tough one to take. Laurie Strode, now a patient in Grace Anderson's sanitarium, has learned that she has failed to kill the real Michael Myers, her victim being an innocent paramedic. The real Michael Myers has returned for Laurie and kills her. Not only is it a cheap fate for such a major character, the execution is lousy as hell. It turns out that Jamie Lee Curtis, chagrined that the writers were not allowed to kill Myers per clause, agreed to come back for Resurrection on the condition that her character get axed. Perhaps this was for the best, as Resurrection is deemed one of the worst films of the franchise.
I'll see you in hell.
Number 4. And then the Fire Nation attacked. The Last Airbender. We wish we could blame the Fire Nation for this. M. Night Shyamalan's film adaptation of the iconic animated series has too many sins to count. But by far, the worst of them is the exposition dump of an intro scene. Unlike the succinct economy of the original series, the film's intro includes not only a text scrawl, but Katara's droning voiceover narration that goes on and on.
The Avatar was the only person born amongst all the nations who could master all 4 elements. He was the only one who could communicate with the spirit world.
Even after Aang is found in the iceberg, the film's tendency for needless exposition and explaining its complicated lore continues. The lackluster acting and the disappointing special effects does not help matters either.
I was just upset. Thanks for saving me.
Lucky.
I probably should get home.
Number 3. The T-800 killed John Connor. Terminator: Dark Fate. Speaking of legacy characters being done dirty, this death was particularly egregious. After surviving the events of Terminator 2 and destroying Skynet, Sarah and her son John retire to Guatemala. Their idyll is quickly ended when a random T-800 sent by Skynet easily kills John. Screw you too, movie. This is a reboot, clearly, but the wanton approach of a major character to make way for another chosen one is not the way to do it. Sure enough, Dark Fate suffered a dark fate in angering fans and becoming a box office bomb. At least the de-aging technology here is impressive.
A machine took him from me. And I am terminated.
Number 2. Ellen Ripley was the sole survivor. Alien 3. This poor woman can't catch a break, and neither can we. After the events in Aliens, Ellen Ripley and her crew enter hypersleep on board the spaceship Sulaco. But once they crash land on Fury 161 and are rescued by officers, Ripley learns the hard truth yet again. She is the only survivor out of all her crew.
Where are the others?
They didn't make it.
What?
They didn't survive.
It's a bleak opening to be sure, and it just so happens to be the same one as in Aliens. That's right, Ellen is once again in the same position as she was in the previous movie. Even more problematic, fan-favorite characters such as Newt and Hicks are dead, and for no good reason. It's a bad beginning for Ripley and fans alike.
Since I'm not a complete idiot, would you like to tell me what we're really looking for?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Young Indy is Uncanny Valley. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Hat sich als Offizier ausgegeben.
Where to begin with this one? In this prologue, a young Indiana Jones is taken prisoner by the Nazis while trying to retrieve the Lance of Longinus, only to discover it's the Archimedes dial that's the real treasure.
It's a fake.
From the dark lighting, the execrable dialogue, the fact that young Indy is the survivor of both hanging and a bomb, it's a mess. The de-aging technology is not as bad as it could have been, but coupled with Ford's gruff grandpa voice, it's also a miss.
You got a lot of nice stuff. Other people's stuff.
Dial of Destiny doesn't get much better from there and became a box office flop. It's quite a poor beginning and end for this legacy character.
Come on, Baz. Let's get home.
Which other opening scenes gave you grim premonitions of the film's dark fate? Let us know in the comments below.
Once, I saved 3 billion lives. But I couldn't save my son.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.